welcome to This Day on a Friday. It's Michael Taylor here with you, and it is June 28th, and I welcome you to the program. Did you watch the debates last night? We were just talking about it earlier. Here's my vote. America lost. Let's not have debates anymore. I'm done with it. I used to teach a TV history class over at St. Anna College, and we actually had TV in society, and it was we used to watch the Nixon-Kennedy debates, and they were just wonderful debates. Nobody went after it. Nobody tried to get a slammer in. None of those kinds of things. Just real amazing policy, foreign policy, and domestic policy issues. Really great stuff. What I saw last night, I think we can be done with debates. They don't get us anywhere anymore, right? All right, well, today's show, we're going to go somewhere. I promise you that. Adapt to it. We got Leslie Gabola going to come on the program talking about some great stuff they have there at the shop and how they can help you make it easier to get around in and out of the house. And Sports Corner with Cole Young, that's going to be actually first up for Sports Corner with Cole Young on that one. Hey, on July 4th, you guys looking forward to July 4th? We are, because we get the day off just like you guys do, right? All right, we got some great movies for you, since we won't be here on this day. So 5:17 to Paris is going to be our 9 a.m. feature. And then at noon, The Philadelphia Story, a classic film. And then California's Gold, San Juan Capistrano with Huell Hauser. You know, I used to work for PBS. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Huell Hauser a couple times over my career there, and he was just as amazing a person off the air as he is on television. So enjoy that special one on San Juan Capistrano with Huell at 5 p.m. on July 4th. Let's take a look outside, and believe it or not, we still have a few clouds hanging around here at the 9 a.m. show, and it's going to be a little bit cooler. We are going to get some clearing, so it'll be partly to mostly sunny as we get into the afternoon. 76 is going to be our high. Then we really start to heat up as we head into the weekend. We're going to have some warmer temperatures back into the 80s. We'll have the morning clouds, a little burn off, afternoon sunshine, our usual pattern. Mostly sunny day on Monday, but otherwise we're going to see that marine layer still sticking around here for part of July as we head into July 4th week. Okay, let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset. And speaking of some clouds, we do have some clouds out there on the beach in the Dana Point that we saw there. And our sunrise this morning was 5:43. Our sunset tonight is going to be 8:05. Now, let's tell you about, was a sneak peek on the send us your pictures. I want to get to that really quick this morning. Email us your pictures if you want to have your pictures on the sunrise sunset segment. Make sure you include your name, where you took the photo, and email us at Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com, and we will put it on our sunrise sunset segment. Hey, no meetings to tell you about, so up next, Sports Corner with Cole Young. Stay with us.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Hi, I'm Dan McEachran. 35 years ago, I was lucky enough to get my start in Laguna Woods. First, building patio rooms, then kitchens. Our cabinets, all built locally in Irvine. It all began with patio rooms, like this Majorca model, which we made into a complete room. I'll pull permits. We'll take care of everything. Give me a call. We'll do a nice job for you.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and we have some major news stories to get to. To start, for the first time in NHL history, the Florida Panthers are Stanley Cup champions after defeating the Edmonton Oilers in a nail-biter Game 7 and keeping the Stanley Cup on U.S. soil for the 31st straight season. It was no cakewalk to get to this point for the Panthers, though. Historically, the Panthers went through a streak of being, for lack of a better term, an embarrassment in the NHL. They made the playoffs just 5 times in 25 seasons. They made it to 1 Stanley Cup Finals in the 95-96 season, where they were swept by the Colorado Avalanche. After the Stanley Cup loss, things only got worse. The Panthers' home game attendance was a running joke throughout the league. In 2006, the Panthers were averaging over 4,100 free tickets handed out for each home game. In 2008, the team introduced the first-timer program, in which anyone with a valid Florida driver's license could get 2 free tickets to a game. In 2010, after LeBron James made his decision to take his talents to South Beach, the Panthers responded by offering season tickets in the upper deck for $6 per game in honor of his new uniform number with the Heat. Even that price point didn't generate enough sales. The team announced that summer that it was going to tarp off 2,000 upper deck seats for most of their home games. Then things began to turn around when Florida made the playoffs in the 2019 season. This was the start of a 5-year playoff streak. In the 2022 season, they made their return to the biggest stage in hockey, taking on one of the league's newest franchises in Stanley Cup Finals, the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas would go on to win that series 4-1, beating the Panthers in a Game 5 by a whopping 9-3. Florida came back with a vengeance, though, finishing this season first in their division and third in the conference. They breezed through the playoffs, beating the Lightning, Bruins, and Rangers, earning their spot in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Edmonton Oilers. Florida then absolutely dominated Edmonton in the first 3 games, going up 3-0 and being on the verge of one of the biggest blowouts in finals history. But because it is the Panthers, nothing ever comes easy. The Oilers then blew out the Panthers in 3 straight games, winning 8-1, 5-3, and 5-1. The Panthers were about to be on the losing end of one of the biggest comebacks in sports history and were going to be on level with the 2017 Falcons' 28-3 blown Super Bowl. Game 7 was back and forth all game long and was suspenseful to the very end. Carter Verhaeghe put the Panthers on the board early, jumping out to a quick 1-0 lead in the first period. Edmonton's Matthias Janmark hit the equalizer on a breakaway goal on a sensational assist from Cody Ceci. Florida regained the lead with a slapshot goal from center Sam Reinhart, and the score remained the same until the final horn sounded and the Panthers survived with a 2-1 victory. The championship is the first for head coach Paul Maurice in his 26 seasons as a head coach in the NHL. On the other side of the ice, the Corey Perry curse lives on. It's been an insane 5 seasons for Perry after he left the Anaheim Ducks in free agency back in the summer of 2019. He signed a 1-year deal with the Dallas Stars, who ended up losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 2020 Stanley Cup Final. He signed another 1-year deal with the Montreal Canadiens in December of 2020. They, too, ended up losing to the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 2021 Stanley Cup Final. He got tired of losing to the Lightning, so he decided to join them in the summer of 2021. In his first season with Tampa, they lost to the Colorado Avalanche in the 2022 Stanley Cup Final. He was then traded to the Chicago Blackhawks and signed a 1-year deal, but after an off-ice incident led to his contract being terminated, he figured he'd sign up to play with a generational talent. And, as I'm sure you can guess, it was Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. He has now become the first player in NHL history to lose in the Stanley Cup Final 4 times in 5 years with 4 different teams. Another team won their first ever championship on Monday night. The University of Tennessee won its first men's baseball College World Series title in school history. Christian Moore hit a leadoff homer, Dylan Drelling went deep for the 3rd time in 3 games, and Tennessee narrowly survived anxious moments late to take a 6-5 victory over Texas A&M on Monday night in Game 3 of the Men's College World Series Finals. The Volunteers bounced back from a Game 1 loss to win 2 straight and become the first #1 national seed in the NCAA tournament to win the title since Miami in 1999. The Aggies' offense averaged 8.5 runs per game for the season, but the Volunteers held them to just 6 runs over the last 20 innings of the finals. Aaron Combs struck out Hayden Schott and Ted Burton to end the game and set off a Tennessee celebration behind the pitcher's mound. Congratulations to Tennessee on their first title. I know the NBA ended last week, but another big story hit the NBA involving one of our local teams. The Los Angeles Lakers ended weeks of speculation with a bold decision, hiring ESPN analyst JJ Redick as their new head coach on a 4-year contract. Redick now becomes the next man to take the helm for the Lakers, despite having 0 coaching experience other than his son's 4th grade youth basketball team. However, he's shown a deep knowledge of the game as a studio and game analyst for ESPN during the past 3 seasons. He's also hosted a podcast with LeBron James, which adds to the reasoning behind the Lakers bringing him in. I'm curious to see how the experiment will play out in the coming NBA season. I keep mentioning how the Olympics are just right around the corner, man, they really are. Opening ceremonies are only 4 weeks from today, meaning the Olympic trials to see which athlete will be representing the United States are well underway. And a lot of the big names you already know will be competing in Paris this year, but as always, there's some newcomers. Some of these newcomers are turning heads and are barely, if not even old enough to drive a car. 16-year-old sensation Quincy Wilson out of Washington, D.C. has been running against competitors nearly twice his age at the U.S. Olympic track and field trials. Wilson broke the under-18 world record when he ran a 44.66 in the first round of the 400 meters on Friday. Then he broke the record again Sunday by running a 44.59 to advance to Monday's final. Unfortunately, on Monday's final race, Wilson finished in 6th place, which is 3 spots outside of the cutoff for the Olympic roster. Though Wilson failed to make the team as an individual runner and become the youngest male to ever do so, he will still have a chance to be part of the U.S. 4x400 relay team. The result doesn't take away from an incredible weekend for the high schooler after he set the world record for under-18 runners, a record that previously stood for 42 years. And yes, he still doesn't have a driver's license. Whether or not he makes the final Olympic roster this summer, he still has a lot to be proud of and will definitely be back in 2028. Before the Olympics, the 48th edition of the Copa America, the quadrennial International Men's Soccer Championship, is currently in the group stage of play. The U.S. is hosting this year, and they started out the Cup with a win over Bolivia. The U.S. scored a goal within the first 3 minutes of the match, and, of course, it was team captain Christian Pulisic putting the ball in the net to gain an early lead. The U.S. would then score again in the final minutes of the first half and would hold on to that lead to walk away with a 2-0 win. The first match was played at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys, in front of a crowd of just about 48,000 fans. The U.S. men's national team is entering their 5th participation in the prestigious competition, which was launched in 1916 and is being played in the United States for just the 2nd time ever. Pulisic is the only member of the current squad to appear in that tournament back in 2016, where the U.S. finished in 4th place. The U.S. faced off with Panama last night and will compete against Uruguay on Monday, so be sure to tune in to see how the U.S. MNT fares throughout this tournament. That'll just about wrap up this week's episode of Sports Corner. We'll be off the air next week due to the 4th of July holiday, hence the outfit, so be sure to come right back in 2 weeks for more sports news and updates. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Cirque du Soleil presents Kuza, an adrenaline rush of acrobatics and a zany kingdom of characters. Kuza opens June 8th under the Big Top at Laguna Hills Mall. Kuza thanks its official partner, Air Canada. Save up to 25% on bookings of 10 or more. Tickets on sale at cirquedusoleil.com.
And welcome back, and thank you, Cole. And we are here with Leslie Gabola from Adapt to It. And she didn't walk in using this, but you brought this as a demo for one of the many items you have there at the store down there. But tell us a little bit what we brought today.
Well, we brought the world's lightest walker.
Okay.
And I love this walker.
While you're talking about it. Wow. Okay, yeah.
You can pick it up with one finger. People are always coming in saying, I want smaller, lighter, smaller, lighter, smaller, lighter, smaller. And so with the advent, this is not carbon fiber, but with the advent of carbon fiber, we are able to provide that for people. The latest thing that they're making carbon fiber, I have carbon fiber canes, but the latest thing are power chairs, and I didn't bring one. Okay. But speaking of lightweight, and so they're about 30 pounds. So people, they fold like a lawn chair and throw in this in the trunk. So along with your carbon fiber power chair, you could fold this up and throw it in the back seat. And it goes anywhere with you. If you're going on a cruise, if you're going on a plane, you can literally take this anywhere with you. Put this in the overhead bin in a plane, so you have it to walk up and down the aisles so you can stay safe. Just push down here, and it's good to go.
That was easy as pie.
Super easy. Has a little pocket
little
here.
holder thing for your phones or whatever else you're carrying.
Exactly. And then the advantage with this one, because sometimes people don't like the swivel. They feel like it gets away with them or away from them. These have the ability to stop that.
Oh, you can lock those in place?
You lock it in place. Of course, I'm probably not going to be able to do it, but.
I think you reversed the other one. Oh, there we
There we go. And then they don't swivel. And I locked it the other way, which is what you said. So you can lock them evenly or unevenly, however you like. And but it doesn't swivel, and so sometimes it feels like they don't get away. Personally, I really feel like the swivel is better because then it can change direction. You don't feel like you have to pick it up and move it.
But maybe some people with some challenges and balances like that, they don't want, if they lose it, they really lose it kind of thing. So
Exactly.
maybe, so you can adjust it either way.
Exactly. And then if you want, technically, if you want the convenience of the foldability, but you want a little bit more weight, sometimes what I suggest is wrapping like one of those wrist weights right around the bar here.
Okay.
And you can do that to provide a little bit more stability.
Okay.
if
Now,
you have
what's
those
in
issues.
terms of the weight? What's the trade-off when we go lighter? Is there some people? Oh, it kind of feels cheap or flimsy, or is there a trade-off these days?
No, because what's happening is they're learning how to make things lightweight and strong at
Right.
the same time.
So keeping that together in terms of the durability, right? That's
Yeah.
what my concern is always like. Oh, it seems plasticky or seems whatever. It's only gonna last a little while, but folks want these to last.
Exactly. They have them for years and years, and they become a part of them. So, and then of course, if you buy it from Adapt to It, it breaks, something goes wrong with it. We have the backing of our manufacturers, and we're able to fix anything.
Yeah,
So.
and it's the thing about when you go into your store, as opposed to just buying something off the internet, it shows up at your house, and you got to figure out yourself. Right. You know the tricks that people do.
Exactly.
You have if you have years of experience, you can say, oh well, we can make this. We can, like you said, you put a little band on here, whatever it might be, to do the kind of customization for these things,
Yes.
right?
Thus, Adapt to It.
Right.
Right.
That's the whole reason for the name.
So yes, we can do that, and we do it often.
Right.
A lot of times I'll just take something and modify it and make it not for what it's used for, but for something else as well.
What are some of the other things that you've noticed in terms of, I don't know if there's trends, or are there any things that are, hey, these are kind of getting hot right now, or people are asking for this a little bit more?
Like I said, the lightweight things.
Yeah.
More of the lightweight power chairs, because people are thinking, oh, I can go here now, or I can do it myself, and so I don't have to depend on somebody else.
Right.
That's becoming a big thing, and I think people are traveling more, and plus the season matters because it's summer, so people are out and about and traveling. We do have a scooter that folds flat again and goes under the bed in a cruise ship. And in fact, Princess and I think Carnival are only accepting that scooter.
Oh, wow.
So we have it in stock. It folds flat, goes under the bed, but then it also stands up straight. It has a kickstand. So you literally, like a bike, put the kickstand down and stand your scooter up. So it doesn't take any room in the cabin.
How important is it for folks who walk into your shop or come into your shop on wheels or whatever it might be to keep that independence? So they're looking for the things that they can use around the house to keep that independence and self-reliance, right?
Yeah, that is key to my mission. And it has been ever since I started Adapt to It. In fact, it's in my mission. And because I feel like we all have that innate desire to be independent and not depend on other people. And so that's the reason why we do what we do, and to keep people as functional as possible and increase their function and improve their quality of life.
But with that independence, you also can build community, and that's kind of like what happens. You have customers that come back again and again, right? Because they trust that what you're going to be able to do. Speak about that community that you kind of established there.
Oh gosh, so funny that you brought that up, because I just had a meeting the other day about it, and that was my impetus for starting the business. I wanted a community store where people could come in and talk about anything, and embarrassing things, or things that they may not feel so comfortable with, but know they've got an ear that's not going to be judgmental, that's not going to be, critical, and just have a place where they can get a hug if they need it, and meet their friends there. We had a couple people meet. I love it when it happens, and it happens quite often, actually. Two people met that hadn't seen each other for so long.
Oh, okay.
And they were able to help each other. So one person had something the other one needed, and they hadn't seen each other for a while. And it was a beautiful moment. And moments like that happen all the time in Adapt to It. It's really a blessing.
What have you gained from it? I mean, I know it's a business, and I know you're there to make a living and make it right, but what do you feel you get out of serving in the community?
You have
here?
an hour?
Yeah. we have 10 more minutes.
I'll be brief. One of the most important things that I did early on was to involve my children. I've got almost 26 and a 32-year-old. But Shaylee was 4 and Bree was 11 when I started.
Wow.
So they have gained, through Adapt to It, the ability to interact with absolutely anybody. They gain the confidence to speak to adults, to start conversations, to approach people in various states of disability. And so through Adapt to It, they have gained the ability to become have their world become bigger. And I think as a kid, that's one of the most important things that we can do for our children is make their world bigger and give them the confidence to go out in that world with the ability to interact with anybody, right? I mean, they're going to be interacting their whole life. They might as well start early and be comfortable with it.
Yeah, and they build that, like, maybe that empathy up a little bit ahead of time and see that there's a need. It's service rather than sales, and those kind of things get embedded in them, right? So they're not just wondering, well, what do you want to buy? It's like, what can we do to help?
What can we do to help? Exactly. And personally, my husband and I have just gained so much satisfaction and just the privilege of being able to be a part of a person's life at probably one of the most difficult times of their life. What an honor. What an honor that is to do that. I mean, who gets to do that?
I know, right?
I know, right? And to have that trust and that respect, and it's very humbling.
No, I can hear it in your voice, absolutely, and I get that. I think sometimes when people find their passions and people find that they don't feel like they're going to work, they don't feel like they worked a day in their life.
Exactly.
And I can tell that when with you guys over the Adapt to It, you have a sense of community. Like you're opening the door to the community, and not you're opening the door for a day of sales.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when we talk about the service and those kinds of things, I just want to make sure people understand. You guys guarantee your stuff.
Absolutely.
And you guys service your things right in shop, and you make sure that things are okay. So they're not having to wait for weeks and months or whatever to send it back to the manufacturer.
No.
You guys can do the things right there, right?
Yeah. Most things we can do in-house. We do have to send our larger items sometimes out, but that's really rare because everything is pretty high quality and doesn't really break. So.
And what's your relationship like with the vendors, and what do you tell them, the folks who sell you the stuff, bring in the house? How do you work with them to make sure you're getting exactly what you need for your clients? Is there like a special relationship? Like, hey, don't send us this. We want that. Have you kind of over the years developed a relationship with the vendors who say, you guys know what we need, and let's get the right stuff in the house?
Absolutely, and my manufacturers have so many items that I know kind of what sells and what doesn't, and so I am able to personalize it and get exactly what I need from them.
Right.
And I also give them feedback. If I get items I don't like, I'll tell them and I'll say, change this. And there are several, I'm working with engineers on several of companies that have changed their items.
Yeah. And that's
So
that's
we
the
do
great
that.
part, again, that focus on the customer, not what the vendor wants to sell you, but no, I'm going to tell you what my customer needs, and you give me that.
Exactly.
So when you walk in to Adapt to It, folks are going to have the good stuff. El Toro Pharmacy, what's going on?
Yeah, well, we're really upset. They've been a partner of ours for 20 years, and they have closed. So, and we're upset about it, and because they've actually, we had a working relationship together. Sometimes you need support, you need questions, you have stuff, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, we just, wanted to extend our condolences and offer people a discount that come from there. So if you come in and you say El Toro Pharmacy, we can give you a discount.
Okay, well, El Toro Pharmacy was a great place for such a long run. And folks, go out there and support your local vendors. Adapt to It is a great folks in the community. They are a treasure around here, and we love having you in. Leslie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
When we come back, we're going to get a movie preview. Stay with us.
At Adapt to It, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to It has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to It sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
Did you know that tinnitus or ringing in your ears can be a sign of hearing loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Gabby Rodriguez, one of the audiologists here at Amazing Hearing. Contrary to what many doctors may tell you, tinnitus can be helped and often eliminated.
I'm a doctor and I thought I'd have to live with the tinnitus, and my hearing has gone from loud tinnitus to no tinnitus in a week and a half.
Call us today for a free consultation. Amazing Hearing, the hearing and tinnitus experts.
Welcome to Harvard Eye Associates. We're focused on your eye care at all 3 of our Orange County locations.
Our new location in Laguna Hills, Orange, and San Clemente.
Each facility features the latest in advanced technology and diagnostic equipment.
And a trusted collection of doctors that care about your vision and your quality of life.
We deliver what matters to you and your family.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
And welcome back. Let's talk about our Friday movie, The Mission with Robert De Niro, a classic film brought to us by Saddleback Memorial Care. Going to have 2 p.m. with the subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles. The film is set in the Jesuit Reductions, a program by which a Jesuit missionaries set up missions independent of the Spanish state to teach Christianity to the natives. It tells the story of the Spanish Jesuit priest Father Gabriel, who enters the South American jungle to build a mission and convert a community of Indians to Christianity. And there you go for the Friday movie. And then on Saturday, we have Reunited, and that is starring Jesse Martin, and it is brought to us by Harvard Eye Associates, and it is about a 6 best friends from college, now in their 40s, who reconnect over their 25-year reunion weekend, and secrets are revealed, and one will force them all to reevaluate their lives. Ooh, sounds like a good one as well. That's going to be Saturday. And real quick announcement for us, we got the Woodstock. We've been talking about it for a while. Woodstock is making its final debut. It's this weekend, Saturday, Clubhouse 2 from 12 to 7:30 p.m. Lots of music, lots of food, lots of dancing. Get out there and have some fun at the Woodstock Festival. And it should be some great weather as well. Let's check the weather before we go. It's going to be in the 80s over the weekend for the Woodstock folks. We're just going to get up to mid-70s, a little bit high 70s maybe today, and it's mostly clearing in the afternoon. But then we got 80s for the weekend, so enjoy the wonderful weather over the weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday, on this day, we're going to talk to the folks from Thrive and the El Toro Water District, so that's a good one as well. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.